Hey everybody, welcome to week 4. This is kind of a unique way of doing this this week. We are going to be basically doing what would normally be our try one final here about halfway through the second try. Like I've said before, things have kind of gotten spread out as far as the curriculum is concerned, so I'm trying to definitely do the things that are going to help you the most for your exams and putting the time and effort into them as much as we can. So intro for this is pretty straightforward. You're doing this thing that is called a one-pager. And this is a summative score. It's basically the same thing that you did when you did portfolios. But if you remember last year when you did the portfolios for try 1 and try 2, you had to do all the questions and then you had to do an outline for each one. So what we're doing though is not doing each question. So you are going to choose one of the questions that is below. We'll talk a little bit more in depth about each of these questions, but basically all of them are dealing with everything we've done in the first trimester. Question 1 is focusing on the Enlightenment. So if you remember when we did that little activity, Save the Last Word, looking at the different Enlightenment leaders, the idea is to kind of remember those ideas and then apply it to the causes of independence. The second question is focused on that idea of social and economic structures. We actually just kind of looked at the heritage of that, and that's kind of a theme that we've looked at through all of the different units, particularly in the U.S. and then South and Central America. And then there's the comparison between two different areas of military campaigns. So this is trying to kind of take ideas of the U.S. Revolution and comparing it to some of the wars of liberation that happened in South America. And then the last question, which is focused on the analysis of social groups and the impact of independence on them. So all of these questions kind of cover different areas of the curriculum. The idea of what you want to do for this is choose one of these questions that you're going to focus on. So which one of these things most clearly applies to the ideas that you have the strength of knowledge about. And what you are going to do with this one question that you choose, and again, I repeat, you are choosing one of these 4 questions that you are going to complete this one pager. And when you choose that one question, you are then going to use a combination of text, words, drawings, symbol shapes, or images, and so that's right up here, to create a one-page handwritten or digital breakdown of that question. So you are creating a one-page kind of succinct and clear study page for these questions, all right? It must fill the page. There should be no bare space, and the final should be something that is kind of colorful, eye-catching, and detailed. And you can do this using images, borders, colors, lines, anything else to organize your information. Now, one thing, before I go through the 6 things that you need to have on that, at the bottom here, there's a little template link. And this actually takes you to Google Slides that you can choose from. And actually, if you look over on the left, and you can see on your screen the ones I'm clicking on, this is just a template that you can use. So if you want to use one of these, you're more than welcome to. If you want to do it on your own, on just a regular Google Doc, you can do that as well. So these are the 6 things that you need to do. And really what this is doing is getting you to just look at a question and then just put together a very quick and easy way of kind of remembering topics and ideas that apply to the question. Now, remember, when you take your exam, you're not going to know what the questions are. So there's really no way that you can specifically prepare for this. But what I've done is usually kind of adapted these questions every year to go back to the previous exam, look at what was done. Obviously, there wasn't a previous exam last spring, so we couldn't really do that this year. But 2 years ago, these were questions that were on the exam. And so the idea here, and really after doing this for 10 years, there's some that are very common. The Enlightenment question seems to show up all the time in this topic 6. So these questions aren't always the same, but they do come up often and are regular questions. And so what I want you to do is create first a border or frame that presents the task question and includes the key ideas about the question. So around the border, you're going to put basically a border or frame that makes you think of the keywords, ideas, topics that come out of the prompt. All right. Then you're going to put somewhere on there raw materials, ideas. You can take stuff from your notes. You can take things from readings or discussions or pictures. And you should have at least 15 ideas of evidence, names, or topics that apply to this question somewhere in that one pager. All right. Images, there should be plenty of images or symbols that allow you to make connections to these terms and evidence. Somewhere in the one page, there should be a thesis statement. And so that's a big part of this, is making sure that I can see that thesis statement and make sure it connects all your ideas along with the prompt. There should be a key question or questions that come out of your understanding of this information. And then the idea of a counter or argument or anything else that will help you fill the page to remember the ideas and the topics. So again, you're going to choose one question to focus on. We are not going to do a timed essay virtually. I've tried this once before with the juniors, and it worked okay for them for a first time. But I think for most of you, I want to be in class and do that before we go forward. Because in the end, I'm not going to make you sit here and do these timed questions, even though I think they're very helpful, unless we know for sure that you're going to be sitting for the exams. And so I'm hoping that my hopeful thinking is that by the end of this trimester, we're back in hybrid. And you all have a chance to sit in front of me and do a timed essay before you take your exams May 4th and 5th. So if you have any questions, please make sure you're in class on Wednesday. I obviously will be there Thursday as well if you want to pop in and ask any questions then. But after Wednesday, I'm pretty much going to just look for your turning this in as your attendance for Wednesday and Thursday. So as long as you get this in, by Wednesday or Friday at midnight, you'll be marked present for Thursday and Friday, and you won't actually have to show up into the Google Meet. But you're more than welcome to come to Google Meet or office hours as well if you have any questions on this. So that is for this week, and we will see you next week.